WSL champions.
Welcome back to a Vic Akers Wonderland. It's been goals galore. I think it makes 13 goals in 3 games, 10 across the WSL, only 2 conceded. That's 3 in the Champions League, and only 1 conceded in the Champions League. But we are back. Welcome back.
Hang on a minute. 3 in the Champions League and 2 in the Champions League. Whoa.
You know what? We'll just cut. I'll just cut this to. We'll just go from a minute because.
Oh God! On the 3rd
Bleeper
for 2026 match 2 have gave to me 3
London derbies. It's going to be fun now, isn't it?
Oh my God! Right, just shush for 30 seconds and then go.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Vic Akers Wonderland. Well, over the last couple of weeks it has been, well, I say couple, it's only been a week and a bit, and it has been goals galore. 10 in the WSL as Arsenal smashed West Ham 5-0 and beat North London. We should say rivals, but it's not really much of a rivalry, is it?
It's an ownership.
5 goals to 2 in the end. But so much just between the two of them. There was a little thing called the Champions League knockout stages. The quarterfinals came calling once again at the Emirates. The Arsenal fans do love it when it's at the Emirates. Let's just say that. Arsenal won that game 3-1 in the first ever meeting between Arsenal and Chelsea in the Champions League. And it was really, really good games all around. Looking forward to talking with you all. As always, is with me our captain, our captain and commander-in-chief, Lottie. How are you? I know you.
Yeah, I'm all right. This is like the 3rd take we've tried to do this intro. I'm in fits of laughter here. Yeah, but 3 London derbies. London is red. London teams take note. That's all I've got to say on the subject.
Shall we go straight into it? So it's 14 years since Leah Williamson made her debut for Arsenal. Funnily enough, that was against Birmingham City in the Champions League, and that was down in Boreham Woods, that, or as we prefer to call it, Meadow Park or Meadow Park, however you would like to address the elephant in the room. If you've got to think about Leah Williamson, obviously modern day Tony Adams, or the reincarnation of Tony Adams, however you want to look at it.
Mrs. Arsenal. Come on.
Mrs. Arsenal to Tony Adams, Mr. Arsenal is another good way to put it. Has there been some favourite moments for you?
I do enjoy kind of Leah's interaction around the club and what we see via the media. Obviously, there's not a lot of positive outside of the media at the moment. There's a couple of things that have red flagged me this weekend, and I'm not too sure about it. So yeah, no, I'm happy. Like 14 years. I mean, this would be a great time to announce a contract extension. Why not do it today, Arsenal? Come on. We are recording this on Monday night, by the way. It would have been a good call, but I'm happy. Like it's just Leah isn't Leah without Arsenal, and Arsenal isn't Arsenal without Leah. It's the same with Kimmy Little as well. It's just they're two of the biggest and staple piece players to Arsenal. So Arsenal, get her to sign that dotted line like now, please. We've got the other key important one.
The genuine thing with this is I genuinely believe that Jack Wilshere said the same, that if Arsenal were to put a contract in front of them, they would sign it. Doesn't matter how much they're being paid, X, Y, Z, they would do it, because that's how much they love the club. But in the meantime, one thing that kind of pops out to me, I think of when Katie, I can't remember who it was against, but Katie McKay puts in a corner, and Leah Williamson goes and scores the header, and she looks like she's nearly been knocked out by it.
That was the Champions League game at Meadow Park.
Yes.
And this is where I really sort of fell in love with women's football that game. Because normally any guy would be on the floor, running around, I'm dying, help me, get me a blue paper towel. As I like to stereotype when someone goes down at the Emirates. But she just got up and kept going, and then it was genuinely like head loss from concussion. It was just like, stop the game, this is genuine.
Yeah.
But yeah, you don't. The game has got worse on that front. I'm not gonna lie. Some of the time wasting from Spurs at the weekend was just ick.
I was.
But yeah,
I was at the Merseyside derby, and there was definitely a lot of that going around. But we'll refrain from any non-Arsenal talk, shall we say, because there has been a huge milestone, and that is Kim Little has made 400 appearances. She is now, I believe she's...
Remember which game it was?
I believe it was the London City Lioness game.
Nope.
I'm going to get it wrong, isn't it? It's the West Ham game.
Nope.
You're going to go on. Put me out.
It was a Champions League game away to Leuven. I think I pronounced that right. That was her 400th game.
Yeah.
But we haven't been back to the Emirates since, so it kind of made sense to give it to her on this occasion, because it was a bigger crowd and she deserves the appreciation.
I think
it went from like, I think it was like 24,000 at the West Ham game, and it went up to 47. So Kimmy deserves all the love. She really does.
I think we'd have to run out superlatives. Just one.
I'll give you a nice easy one if you like.
Go on then.
Legend, leader, little. That's all the words you need for Kimmy. That banner was perfect. I don't know if you saw it.
Just one moment that you really think of.
Oh, do you know what? It would be interacting with her at Meadow Park. She's just so genuine. And as you've always said, you don't appreciate Kim Little until you actually see her live. And that's always been a thing. It's kind of a joy. I'm seeing all these men's fans starting to watch the women's game, and they're saying, oh, for Kim Little's very much like Declan Rice. And I'm like, no, she's been doing this for nearly 20 years. It's a little bit less than that. I know it's coming up, but we're not quite there yet. Do you know what I mean? She's been doing this for 20 years at Arsenal. Like, Vic Akers called this when he was the kit man and the manager for the women's team about her. So, if anything, Declan Rice should be aspiring to be Kim Little. I know it's two different games, but if you're going to start those comparisons, get the facts straight. She's got Champions League title to her name.
I've always called her, but said that she in terms of her technical ability, it's Arsene Wenger. I always say the same thing. Arsene Wenger and Santiago Cazorla, you couldn't get the ball out away from him in a phone box. It was basically the same thing with Kim Little. But if you try and take the ball off her, and you do, she's going to come back and she'll win that ball back.
Absolutely.
I think she is so tenacious, and even in the game against Chelsea, we'll get onto, she made some beautiful slide tackles. And I was just looking at her and thinking, going back on this, I was just thinking, you've added so much to your game in the last couple of years. A couple of years ago, you wouldn't have made that. You would have just done a standing tackle. So it's nice to see that she's elevating, moving with the game as well. If I had to give one memory, it has to be that first away game against Aston Villa, where she came on and she absolutely changed the game. There's no denying. If she doesn't come on,
was that the season when we had that lemon yellow kit?
Yes,
that was an amazing game.
She came on and she absolutely changed that game. And me being in the crowd thinking, oh, it wasn't too bad the first half. No, that was a really bad first half compared to when Kim Little
we were awful in that first half. That was actually awful. No, but I just want to touch on, like, I was talking about comparisons. Like, we don't. It's just an example. It's not me saying that Declan Rice and Kimmy are on the same levels, because the game is 2 different levels. If I'm honest with you, the standard for that Kim is at, that the women's game is at now, is very different from when she started, and the level, her level of skill and everything else has just gone through the roof. But we don't compare the men's and the women's games, although we use them in a lot of examples.
I think that's just sort of, and give our points a little bit more of a meaning behind them. I'm guilty on that front so many times.
Oh, I am as well. That's why I just had to say that.
She has got a new contract though, which is what. Yes. So it's not quite. 20,
it doesn't matter if it's for a year.
Years.
We want 10 more years of Kimmy Little. We always want 10 more years.
I genuinely believe. I think she's going to be, when she decides to hang up her boots, she's going to be on the youth coaching side, a bit similar to.
Well, she's doing her badges at the moment, so
yes,
it wouldn't surprise me. I think she's doing. Someone said to me she's doing her 5s or something. I wasn't too sure. I'm not too sure I understand the ranking with that.
It goes B, A, and then I think it's a continental, and then I think it's continental A. So
there you go. I don't understand it
on that, but it just, I think to be able to manage a team in WSL, I think you have to have a continental license. So maybe that's what she's maybe looking at. But I would say for the moment, she might be looking at coaching at youth level and then slowly progressing up. We have seen that she has got a new contract, which is great. I'm looking forward to seeing her in the shirt again. I think it would be nice to say in this further down the line that when she opts to, maybe this time next year, maybe Arsenal are top of the league. I am touching wood, but we'll wait and see about that. Yes, touching wood. Just making sure. It would be quite nice to see Kim Little lift the WSL once again, just before she ends up leaving. For me.
Yeah. No. Exactly. Do you know what? It's. I think my next question for you is: when are you getting your Kim Little shirt? You still ain't got one.
I have got one last year's.
It's so easy to wind up. It's like, I have got one. I couldn't help myself there. Sorry.
That's it. You do bring a good point. A lot of people have their fan favourites of Leah Williamson and things like that. I haven't got a Leah Williamson shirt, by the way.
That's my Champions League final shirt. It looks beautiful.
Yeah. I always pick. I always go and
making final shirts. So I got a Kim Little one. I got a couple of Black Stallions ones. Got Leah Williamson for the Champions League final.
I've had so
hopefully I can add someone different with a different edge to it.
Yeah.
Maybe for the FA Cup final.
We'll see. We'll see what happens, because Arsenal have to beat Brighton before then, and then we'll find out.
Sunday.
But anyway, the other news, a bit more or towards the personal side of things. Kyra Cooney-Cross has opted not to come back to Arsenal for the remainder of this season on personal grounds. I'm going to leave it at that. They're not going to explain
the
further.
Statement from Renée is that Arsenal have given her personal leave. We all know the situation. With all of our thoughts and all of our love is with Kyra and her family. I think my main takeaways from this, I hope she comes back in September, if it is possible. Because I think she needs to be given more of a chance in that middle of the park. There is more to offer from my World Cup wish.
Just there is a lot more. I think she definitely wants to, but it's a case of being with family at the moment. This is where I would have. Again, this is where I would have said in the January window. I know we never talked about it, but I would have said to someone from the A League if they'd be willing to take her for the remainder of this for our season, and then we'll have that conversation in the summer about whether she wants to extend that loan or not. Just so she's closer to family.
Yeah, no, I get that, but it could also depend on her responsibilities.
Yeah,
with the family. So she might play, she might not play, but she was at the Matildas games, which was great to see. If you've seen her social, she was there. which was really nice.
So all the love to Kyra Cooney-Cross, even if it does leave Arsenal a little bit light in the midfield, but you can get away with it because there are...
Sign Leah Volti. She wants to come back.
That would make this one very happy indeed. I believe,
I just don't want her to go to Man United or LCL. Shouldn't be wasted there.
The logics of her going to Manchester United and London City Lionesses is a bit, yeah. There obviously she won't go. There are teams that she won't go to, but she is a top talent, and I don't. It's hard to see exactly. Let's see who comes up as well, because that might be another alternative
that is true.
for her.
I just want her to come home. That's all.
Anyway, we should probably talk about the West Ham game. Arsenal winning that one 5-0. Lesia Russo, Beth Mead, and Chloe Kelly with the hat trick. Although there was a little bit of skepticism about Chloe Kelly, whether or not she got the hat trick. Well, she got the match ball. So that's how I'm calling it, even though Arsenal's website has said that it's gone down as an own goal for whatever reason. No, sorry, Stina Blackstenius has claimed it because it was a touch. They thought that Stina had touched it, but I still think that that footage is inconclusive. So if it's inconclusive, it goes to Chloe Kelly.
Yeah, Renee said it was Chloe's goal, so I'm going with what the boss says. Sorry, I mean, like we've had a Chloe Hattie, we've got a Russo Hattie. It's now Stina Blackstenius' turn. Give me that hat trick now, and then give her a contract. Give that woman a contract.
So there was also a clean sheet for Annika Borba as well. So she's done really well since being chosen as the to step up, as Daphne van Domselaar has been out with little niggles, I think is the best way to put it. Other notable results for this game week was London City Lionesses drawing with Chelsea, Man City beating Tottenham 5-2, Man United beating Everton 2-1, and Leicester losing.
Imagine being beaten 5-2 in back-to-back weeks. Ouch. Ouch. I forgot about that. Oh.
That goal.
But then again, we didn't equal Bunny Shaw's record of 3 goals in 12.5 minutes. So there's something about Tottenham and Bunny Shaw. Bunny Shaw just loves it. What can I say?
That was very short. To be honest, this West Ham side, I don't think there's not many positives you can take from West Ham a lot anymore.
Get them relegated. Put them in the bin. Sorry, that's what I've always stood. I've always
at this moment in time, it's not relegated; it's a relegation playoff.
And you know they're going to win that because they've got the talent, and that's what's going to really irk me about these playoffs.
That the championship race is heating up. I believe Birmingham City are running away with the league at the moment. I believe Charlton are up there, but in terms of that third space, it's been going between Crystal Palace, Newcastle, I think Bristol City are up there as well. So it's almost like a 3-horse race for that.
Yeah, Charlton are sitting on 41, Birmingham 38, Palace 35, Newcastle 32, and Bristol 30. And then it drops down to 28, 26, 24.
Yeah, Southampton.
With Southampton, Nottingham, Sunderland, Sheffield, Durham 15, Ipswich 14, and Portsmouth 14. I think that could be a bit spicy at the other end as well, with Durham, Ipswich, and Portsmouth. That could be a bit spicy.
They've still only got 2 relegation spots at the moment, but there will be an increase in that league next season too.
You've got three teams, like with one team 1 point ahead, and the other one is level.
I'm pretty sure that next season we will see Bournemouth in there. But in the meantime,
anyway, back to the Arsenal. Sorry.
Shall we talk about what happened on Tuesday night? And that was the Champions League. Now, a return for Daphne van Domselaar between the 6. There was a couple of other changes as well. Steph Catley, I believe, and Caitlin Ford were also on the bench. So after the return from the Asia Cup, which they came in second place, Japan won that game 1-0 against Australia. 18,000 in attendance. And just going into that game, I didn't really have any nerves. Did you have any sort of nerves before?
I wasn't. I was calmly confident because we've done it at the Bridge this season. Chelsea haven't been their best. They've been absolutely awful to watch. I mean, the draw will like, no disrespect to London City Lionesses, like to draw 1-1 with a new team that's just come up, and you're meant to be the top team who's won it 6 times in a row, etc., etc. To draw to them is it's a statement, positive statement for LCL, but it's a really not a great statement for Chelsea. I mean, you'd look at the Aston Villa game just gone. I watched some of that, and although they won 4-3, they've just about clinched it because they went. I believe they went 2-1 up. No, 3-1 up, and with Lauren James scoring some absolute bangers. Well, I'm saying that because she's not playing us. Just take note. And you've got Kirsty Hansen? Yeah, Kirsty Hansen.
Yeah, Kirsty Hansen.
Scoring 2 in 4 minutes with, what's her name? Lydia Wilms? Yeah, on both assists. And they were just carved open. You never see Chelsea carved open like that. I mean, even Everton have done it. And Everton hadn't beat them in 10 years, did you say?
Yeah,
10 years or something like that.
I think it is.
I don't remember the stat because you were quite happy about it.
I was happy about it for so many reasons.
I know. We all were because we've been waiting for the Emma Hayes wheels to fall off, and I think they're going. They've gone. I mean, Millie Bright wants to leave Chelsea, and that's saying something. Like, regardless of what's going on, sort of thing. Politically, let's just leave it at that.
Yeah.
I think it's politics in that place at the moment. But anyway, just Chelsea aren't the Chelsea that everybody fears at the moment, and we don't fear anyone anymore. I always used to sort of go approach these Chelsea games, be like, I don't know. And then, but their recent form, I was like, we might cinch this. So and only just though.
Just as the game kicked off, it was within the first 15 minutes. Chelsea hit the post twice. To be honest, it was looking almost like that post was going to be player of the match by the end of it.
Oh, it was the player of the first half. Absolutely.
Before Arsenal got a free kick, Katie McCabe whips it in, and Stina Blackstenius gets her head to it, making it 1-0 to Arsenal before Chloe Kelly decides, you know what, I've done this before and I'm going to do this again, this time for 35 yards outside the box, and it just sails past Hammerhampton. Beth Mead with the assist for that one, leaving 2-0 at half-time.
Something magic about staying in the Champions League. As with that, I enjoy watching her play at the moment. For me, when you look at the lineups as a whole, it's like a 4-2-3-1 with Alessia as the 10. I know people want to see her up top, but Alessia's work rate is unquestionable, whether she's getting assists or banging in hat tricks. I love having Jonas used to really struggle trying to get Stina and Alessia to play together, and I know I for one absolutely hated it because it never used to work. It used to lose its oomph. I can't think of a word. I'm just going to say oomph to the game and how we played. I think bringing in Chloe Kelly has altered that because Leslie can now sort of do what she needs to do in that 10 role without worrying about going out to the wings, which I think it really works personally. And then we are seeing the results of Chloe being fully fit. The last 3 games, the last 3 London derbies have been absolutely brilliant this week. I mean, what time to be a Gooner?
Well, for me, I think the thing has been that where I've always been against having this Yuriso in the middle. I know. This is why I said, because you don't like it. I love it. Now that you mention it, I think that's a lot more to do with the fact that Stina has been able to, and Alessia have been getting the same coaching from the same person for it's over a year now, Kelly Smith. So I think that has sort of helped a lot more this season than last season. You've seen both, a lot more of the forwards being able to do their own thing. What is Olivia Smith's talent? Olivia Smith's talent is getting the ball and just going, okay, I'm going past you, and then smashing it from outside the edge of the box. And you can't do anything about it. What's Chloe Kelly do? I'm going to cause as much chaos as possible, and there's nothing you can do about it. What's Stina good at? I'm going to press you, and I'm going to make sure that if you think that you're going to win this ball, I'm just going to do something so ridiculous. It's going to make you see birds running around your head, and I'll put the ball in the back of the net. And Alessia is just this pressing machine. I know you're laughing, but you know where I'm coming from with it.
I know, I do. I get it, but it's just a case of like where we've got that hole in the midfield. We've got no choice but to pair up Mariona and Kim Little. As much as I want Vic to be out there and breaking Chelsea legs, as I say, she is better coming off the bench for me rather than starting. And you're not starting Mariona on the bench. It's just not going to happen. I'm really sorry. It's just like I love Big Vicky P, but you're not starting Mariona on the bench for that game. It's just not going to happen because I'm finding that Chelsea's midfield don't know what to do with Mariona, and I love it. We saw evidence of that at the Bridge. Like I don't know why she wouldn't shoot the other month when she was up the other end with the Chelsea fans, but she was dancing across the front and we're like sending it like shoot. We know like you scored so many goals last season. Just shoot. We all screaming. And then she was doing the same down here and we screamed at her to shoot and she took that chance. But yeah, no, I think Renee's got Sonia Bompasta's card marked. And I absolutely love it because she's never got anything nice to say and it's really irritating.
Even Frida Marnham has really improved over the last couple of months, and
her confidence has gone back up through the roof. I think
we're starting to see
Marnham,
that
she has one stumble and she's back to square one, and it's a little bit frustrating, but it could just be that her confidence is really fragile.
Yeah. Just before the half time, Chelsea thought they'd had one back. Berman supposedly, well, this is craziness at the most. Borb has come to collect it. She's absolutely missed it. And Berman's just there to head in. But there's two things here. Well, 3 or 4 different things. The first one is that Berman's push kept Leah Cordina down. And then Leah Cordina's seen that it's gone in and she just sort of lays on the floor to say, oh, I'm a bit injured. And that's why the ref has said no goal. There's so many different layers of this, but I actually think one of the other things is that because of how close it was to the post, I think there was only like a couple of maybe less than a foot away. That was probably one of the reasons why it might have been not given.
It was like Cordina was a foot off the line, literally. Whatever shoe size she is. But
the post is out there. The players are there. I think it's the case if she pushes her into the post more than anything else. It was a bit ridiculous, but
I don't mean to be funny, but I'm going to sound like the most anti-Arsenal fan right now. That was never a foul in a month for Sundays, and we got away with it, which is a miracle for once. And you look at it, I get what Kadina's doing. It has helped us. Yeah, but it was never a foul in a month for Sundays. I'm sorry, but that was the softest foul I've ever seen since I've been watching women's football.
I think it's
normally these kind of fouls are rewarded to Chelsea, but now they're on the receiving end and now they know how it feels. I feel like this game was karma for our WSL game, which we got completely stitched up in.
So what was it at Stamford Bridge then if it wasn't karma?
No, that was revenge. Karma. The decisions in that WSL game were a joke.
Yeah.
It was appalling. I have never lost my temper at women's football, and that was the only time, and I really lost my temper.
If I'm being honest, it's the only reason I can see it as a proper foul is because she's using it in Kadina to get that height above her.
But you think as you look at her fingers dig in between her collarbones.
Yeah. That's the other thing. And if you
actually press there, your body is automatically going to go down because of the nerves. So that's how that works. But it's also, you're not actually looking into the finer details like that. It's still a really soft foul. It's still, we got away with it. And it's funny as hell.
I am with you on this. It should have been given, but in reality, the referee has every right to.
I think all the iconic TikToks are coming out of her losing her rag, Sonia losing her rag as well.
Oh, that was
absolute
funny.
Gold. The second one was worse though.
Oh.
She went and argued with the fourth official. I was at home for this game, by the way. I didn't go. It was too rainy, and it's just like, yeah, I'm not going tonight.
Chelsea were given a lifeline. Lauren James scoring from outside the edge of the box. It was a really good goal. Again, one of my issues with the women's game is that whenever things like that happen, no one goes and presses to try and close them down. What can Lauren? Because what's the most dangerous thing that Chelsea have is Lauren James on the edge of the box with all the time in the world to shoot.
Yeah,
that
she wasn't shut down quick enough, but the result of it was a absolute beauty of a worldie. I'm not gonna lie, that was just a nice curler into the back of the net from Lauren James, and you could hear the stadium boo her every time she got the ball. And that our fans need to remember, she thrives off that energy. She likes to silence people. So whenever I see her at the bridge, I point blank refuse to boo her, and people don't kind of get that logic. It's not because I like her. I can't stand her and her brother. But she feeds off that, and that's where she gets her game from. You have some players that will crumble under that pressure and everything will go wrong. But people like Lauren James, Kyra Keating, Rachel Laws, I know they're goalkeepers, but when they're in front of the Arsenal fans, they absolutely thrive over the booing and everything else we throw at them. And we're meant to make it as horrible as possible. But again, they thrive off it. And that's what makes James a quality player. And well, dare I say it. That goal was absolutely sublime from Lauren James. We didn't shut it down, so we didn't deserve a clean sheet.
Well, just on that, anything that Lauren James thought she could do, Alessia Russo thought, right, okay, I'll go and do one better. As the ball comes to her, I think it's Chloe Kelly, the passer, the ball. She flicks the ball and then absolutely volleys it past Hannah Hampton. It was a fantastic volley. I really enjoyed watching that.
Yeah, she's now the top scorer of the Champions League from an English club. Alessia does like to turn up for the occasion, especially when she's got a bit of form brewing. At this point, we didn't know we were getting a hat-trick on Saturday. So that form is now full up and running, but it was sort of brewing at that point. Beautiful goal. I just enjoy watching Russo play. I love seeing her scoring. I think for me personally, I'm gonna agree with who was it? I can't remember who said it, but I think Alessia Russo is going to be the greatest striker Arsenal's ever seen.
Oh,
her ceiling is still not there yet. We're still looking for it.
Can you see where I was coming from when all those years ago, just before the Euros, and I mentioned about Alessia Russo?
Yeah, no, but the thing is, you got to remember, back then, that was my first season of watching women's football.
Yeah.
I did. And then once we won the Euros and we were at the final because you gave me your spare ticket, that's where the real love kind of started to burn. The men were having a rubbish season. The girls made me feel better. And then I fully committed to going as many games as possible. It's like this Chelsea game is the first Champions League game I've missed since before that Euros final. And yeah, I wish I hadn't.
She's definitely going to be up there. I think, to be honest, she's definitely going to beat Ellen White. Sorry, I'm getting the Whites wrong. Ellen White's England record, I think that's going to be gone fairly quickly.
Oh, she's coming for it, but she's got to get Georgia Stanway out of the way first. Georgia Stanway is like two or three ahead because Alessia scored, I think, had a brace. And then Georgia Stanway said, no, you're not having my record. I'm going to go and score some more. So it was against Ukraine?
Yes, it was.
Yes, it's the Ukraine game. Yeah. So we'll see about that. We'll see what Georgia Stanway has to say.
So either way, we go into sort of last little minutes of the game. Chelsea have a corner. Buchanan has it in the back of the net. But again, this is ruled out for a foul. Now, this I do have a lot of problems with. I don't care what Chelsea fans are saying. This is reckless. And I've had this done to me before when I was in goal. Luckily, the player didn't actually make contact. But if he had made contact, it would have been a foul, and they would have been sent off. And that's what I have an issue with, is that it is serious damage. She could have done serious damage to Borba. Buchanan. Basically, the ball's on the line, and Buchanan basically slides into her. Now, you're not bearing in mind slide tackles can be a work of art, as I earlier mentioned. Kim Little making slide tackles left, right, and centre in this game to win the ball back. There is also the damage that you can do, which is almost 2-footing someone too high. It can cause a lot of damage. I'm going to say, I don't know if Buchanan was given that yellow cards or not, but I think she wasn't. But it just, for me, that should have been a straight. That should have been VR checked for not a possible goal, but for serious foul play. I know they checked that and they ruled out the goal.
It should have been checked for a high boot. I'm sorry, that was a red card all day long. The fact that Sonia Bompasta and her team did not get the goal does not matter. The fact is, Khadijah Buchanan should have been sent off. She should have had a yellow card at a minimum with a VAR check. The fact that they didn't check it, and they seem to think that cancelling the goal pays off the high boot to the waist. How does that work? She didn't exactly have the ball at that point when the high boot was up at her waist, from what I remember, and the ball was loose. She had not touched it, and the foot was already there at Borba. She should have been sent off, and she should not be playing on Wednesday.
While it was a 50-50 challenge, it's just you're too high, and you can't.
It's a high boot. I know you're not trying to defend it, but in my opinion, it's a high boot, and she should have been sent off. End of story. And then that would have really upset Sonia Bompasta, and that would have been funny as hell. It's
reckless, absolutely reckless, and it does make me wonder what's going to happen with this game. It does
concern me, because if they feel like they're going out, they're going to be out to hurt us, and I mean injure players and take them out and make certain players lose their tempers. And I'm talking about that left-hand side. Massively, up top and down the back, because Caitlin Ford has got a bit of fire back in her belly, and she, after what I saw her do at the Asia Cup, I'm not too sure about how she's going to react if someone upsets her. She's kind of, how do I put it? She's got a bit of a spine now. Like, I think the first season she was dating Katie, she got more yellow cards than Katie McCabe. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm a bit concerned about Katie losing her rag, but I don't think she will, because she knows how important the game is. She's now letting people foul her. Instead of arguing, she's like waiting for the ref to sort it out. And because Katie doesn't normally do that, the refs are going, okay, fine. But sometimes they will ignore it if they think it's really soft. But I have noticed that a lot this season with Katie. I think this next game is going to need a lot of leadership and calm heads and a solid game plan, because Chelsea are going to look to hurt us in this game.
So, as I see it, the first 20 minutes of this game is going to be the important one. And
it always is at Stamford Bridge.
How everyone's going to see it. First goal is going to change the momentum of this tie, with Arsenal needing probably cooler heads out of this than Chelsea. If Chelsea are going to lose their heads, then definitely heads will roll, and potentially a lot more cards could come out at this moment in time. But we'll wait and see. What would you, if you had to? I know we don't usually do this, but how would you set up? What would you have? There's certain players we expect to play. Katie's definitely one of them. Emily Fox, one of the other ones. Probably Daphne as well is probably going to come back in. That leaves the two centre halves. We already know who's going to be in the middle. and
I can give you a
potentially
whole lineup of what I want to see, if that helps.
go on.
I want Borber in goal. I want a back four of Fox, Lossa Wubben-Moy. I would
Steph
put Leah
Catley.
Cadena back. Yeah, Steph Catley. I was thinking about Leah. No, I want Steph there, and then I want Katie on the other side of Steph because it's a yin and yang aura. Steph hasn't got the speed anymore, but Katie does, and Steph is sensible. Katie's a bit brash. It balances it all out. In mid, and then I'd go with in front of the back four. I put 2 of Kim and Mariona, and then we will go for a 3. And the next thing would be not 3.
Yeah, 4-2-3-1.
Yeah, 3. Yeah, that's it. Sorry, I've had a long day. Sorry. And then I'd have a 3. I'd have Alessia as the 10. I'd have Chloe on one side, Beth on the other, and I'd put Stina on top. I would not change that line one bit. And then we've got changes as necessary. I think that's our strongest team at the moment. And I think for the way that Chelsea can be carved open, especially by Chloe Kelly, just do it. Because they don't know how to handle her, and it's absolute gold.
If you also look at how you've set up, I think that's pretty similar to what I would say. I would
That
also
was
say
the last setup. Would you change anything?
No, but I would add to that Olivia Smith coming off the bench.
Yes.
Say 20 minutes. It's let's say Chelsea.
No, I'd get her on at 65 minutes. She needs 10 minutes to settle down minimum.
Whatever the score is towards the closing end of the game, I'd expect Olivia Smith to be on the pitch.
Yeah, she's another one that I'd be worried about. That's going to get a silly yellow card. So definitely start off the bench for Olivia. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely love her, but you look at the Champions Cup we went to.
Yeah,
that was no need for a yellow card. I'm sorry, that was silly. Was it that game?
I'm sure. Yeah.
No, it wasn't the Champions Cup. It was another game. She got a silly yellow card for something so absolutely ridiculous. Because she got fouled and she went and done it back to the other player. I can't remember who it is. It's going to drive me nuts. If you remember who it is, let me know.
If we're going to talk about silly cards, Ruby Mace got one at the weekend. She was trying to throw the ball. A Liverpool player was literally to her face, so she wanted to throw the ball, and the referee's given her. So
basically, we had a Kate McCabe, Chloe Kelly moment. Well, at least she didn't do a Katie and smack her in the face with the ball.
No, but I know it's derby and everything like that, but it's just like sometimes just that player that's in the way should have got a card for what they were doing. It didn't really matter. Everton
should have took a leaf out of Katie's book.
But
schmack.
Yeah, well, she did. She properly.
Wow, I didn't get a chance to watch it because I was doing other stuff. So okay, I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, but that's beside the point. We should probably go on to the North London derby now. That was the 5-2. Lesia Russo with what I didn't know this, but the Dutch actually have a word which is a Dutch clean hat trick, which means all the goals were scored in the first half, which is quite an interesting little phrase that we picked up. Caitlin Ford and Stina Blackstenius also scored the points. It does say own goal from Frida Marnham. It's still debatable over that, with Tangberg supposedly getting on the end of that first Tottenham goal, and Beth England also pulling one back for the away side. What were your thoughts on the game?
Three things are guaranteed in life: death, taxes, and Beth England scoring in a North London derby against Arsenal. I know that draw does not count because no one scored. Anyway, North London derby. I was ready for the occasion. We kind of got in there a bit early. It was really nice to see Manu back up on the pitch. We screamed at her from the back of like row 26, and she turned around and waved at us, and we were standing there like it was great. Because she looked so confused, so she could hear fans singing her song. She was looking up, and then she kind of looked where we were at the back of the block behind the Arsenal bench. It was actually quite funny. So that was a good start to the day. How do I start with Leslie's hat trick? The first goal was sensational. Second one was even better, and I think was it the third one that Kopp messed up?
I think it was. I think so.
Yeah, it was the last goal. It was the last one. I don't know what Kopp was doing. I can see why Bayern Munich gave her to the WSL. and why she left. I mean, that is the basics of goalkeeping. I know you can talk about that because you're a goalkeeper. I'm just a right back. I'm a humble right back.
Just don't give the opposition striker a chance because they'll finish it. I don't know what that's what she's been told. It's also worse that defenders probably haven't told her that there's a player on her or anything like that. They've just thought, oh, just play it backwards.
Do you know what? Deal with it. I thought Koga looked really, really tired. She was on for the 90 minutes and she just couldn't keep Alessia in her pocket. It was quite funny. But I don't think Koga should have played that 90 minutes. I really don't.
I think we were seeing a lot across the teams that do have had
I know Spurs attendees. Oh yeah. I know that they did miss Koga. And she went with Japan, didn't she?
Yes.
Yeah. So I know they missed her, but I do think playing her for the full 90 minutes was wrong, especially up against Stina and Lessie, especially Lessie, because she just looked really tired. I've kind of backed Koga most of this year on the fantasy football because she's been done really well. I think that's the first poor game I've actually seen from her. I know you're probably sitting here, why is she watching Spurs? My dad watches Spurs. It's on in the house, especially if it's women's football. I'll watch it. Yeah, no, she just looked really tired, and after that third one, after one of her goals, the ball went straight past her. She was at the near post. She just looked utterly defeated. When you watch the replays, you see it. I didn't notice at the time because I was too busy screaming my head off and seeing Alessia Russo to her goal song, which is just amazing. It's one of the best songs. Also, Santi Cazorla's song and Noni Madueke's song. So, yes.
Taking that back from Chelsea now.
No, it's always been a Santi Cazorla song for me. And I think that song is a perfect fit rather than we've got Alessia Russo. It's just my preference. I will still sing both, but I prefer Alessia Russo to her goal song, personally.
I think it's because that one's Manu's chant.
Yeah, I get that. I also get that, but that's the song she's chosen as a part of the project that Arsenal are working on. Like Stina still has the usual song. Beth has it as well. Olivia Smith's got something different. So, yeah, no, it's at the end of the day, it's their choices. Do you know what I mean? It's a part of the project. It brings us closer as fans. Even the playlists and stuff they do pre-match. I mean, Kimmy had this weekend. I actually knew all the songs for a change. I'm not saying that I'm old, but Kimmy had some very good picks, like across the age groups.
I think it was actually a player pick. What name of song that reminds you?
No. Basically, Kim picked the songs, the pre-match playlist, which plays on the Emirates.
That one, right?
Yes,
not the one that was released.
Yeah, there's a different player every week. Different player every week. Just this week, it was Kim because it's 400 games. We had a banner for her. We celebrated her with her 400. Yes, it was celebrated with her 400 shirt with her nieces and nephews, and yeah, it was just really nice all round. But yeah, I am going to argue that own goal from Marnin. Dare I say this? I love to watch Tamberg play. She's such a brilliant player. She deserves better than Tottenham Hotspur. I'm not going to lie. It was her goal. I think she got a toe to it over Marnin, but they've put it down as an own goal. Fair enough. Because, again, it's one of those ones I feel that if you're watching it on TV, it's precarious. I think that's the right word. Whether to give it to. But if you're sitting in the ground from my seat, Tamberg all day long.
Well, there was the return of Daphne van Domselaar as well as Steph Catley, as well as Caitlin Ford getting on the score sheet there. So some few sort of sigh of relief in terms of reinforcements from the bench, which was great to see.
Yeah, it's great to see Daphne back. I have got kind of comfortable with Borba now. I can now, after feedback from people who saw her pre-season, I wasn't overly confident with her because I didn't get to go to the friendlies. But it's nice to see Daphne back. She's definitely a fan favourite. Steph Catley is just amazing to have back. It's a North London derby. She knows what it means to play for Arsenal in this fixture.
She's just that wonderful. In terms of other results, Man City beat Manchester
Her left
United.
foot's amazing as well. A bit like Messi, did you hear?
In terms of the other results, I'll quickly go through this. So Man City beat Man United 3-0. Chelsea eventually won 4-3 against Aston Villa. Leicester lost to Brighton 1-0. Liverpool eventually beat Everton 3-2.
That 10 women as well.
Well, yeah. Well, that was the other thing. Grace Fisk, second yellow. It was a bit of a tasty affair. It wouldn't be a derby without a red card, and that's one of the things that has been missing in the North London derby for a while.
Do you know what? I'm quite happy not to have red cards. I do think we need to talk about Caitlin Ford's goal.
Go on, let's talk about Caitlin Ford. I
know you don't like Caitlin Ford. I'm not her greatest fan, but when she's scoring a goal like that, I'm like, yeah, just give me some more. She's when she comes back from being with Matilda, she seems to bring a little bit tiniest smidgen of form back with her, and I'm hoping she kicks on for the next couple of games as well, because we've got some big fixtures coming up.
This is what usually happens, though. She goes away to the Asia Cup, and all of a sudden she turns her season around.
But that's what you want. It doesn't matter if she's doing well for the club. Who cares? Do you know what I mean? I'm the first to moan about she's not doing anything, but she's actually getting stuck in. She's getting a little bit of work rate, even if she's not scoring. She's in the right places. She's making the right challenges. Her and Katie are like in sync mentally. They don't even have to talk to each other at the moment to play. Yes, that's the word. But yeah, the goal was really. I know it was spare at the moment, but it was a really great goal towards the end. She deserves her flowers like the rest of them, as well as Beth of England. I say that with begrudging it. But yeah, overall, North London derby beat 5-2 again, being battered 5-2 twice in 2 weeks isn't looking good for Spurs. I think the new manager bounce has fizzled out now, and we're now going to see the settled down version of Spurs and see what this manager is made of. I really do, because most Spurs managers get to this point and then they're leaving the short stay car parks.
Well, let's just go with the table. Man City essentially need 2 wins in the next 2 games to win the title.
Or 2 draws and a win.
Or however, either way, they need about 5 points to win the league, basically.
Yeah.
Chelsea are sitting second with 40 points. However, Arsenal still have those 2 games in hand over Leicester and Brighton. Again, away to Crawley. So that's all to play for. They do currently sit in the Champions League spots. Manchester United are outside that on goal difference, as well as losing. Thank you, Manchester City, for that. Just going to go further down the table, because you've got Tottenham, Brighton, London City, Lionesses, all sort of comfortable in that middle table now. Everton, Aston Villa share are on 20 points each, and separated by goal difference. Liverpool on 17 points in 10th. West Ham are on 13th in that relegation playoff spots at the current moment. And Leicester look all but settled to get relegated on 9 points at the moment in time. They still haven't got any points in the last 5 games. I think we've definitely settled on Leicester getting relegated. But between...
Oh, you never know. West Ham could have a couple of stinkers. You never know.
Between West Ham, there is 4 games there. Am I getting it right? 4? 3? No, hold on. 22, 20. Yeah, 3 games left. So essentially, Leicester could get relegated in the next game. That then settles that if West Ham continue to pick up points, let's say at this moment in time, 20. If Everton and Aston Villa are sitting on 20, they could still be in that relegation playoff coming the end of the season.
Yeah, but you kind of look at West Ham's fixture. They've got Liverpool, Villa, and then they're going to get. We know City are going to pump them. I'm sorry, and they've got City, whereas Leicester have. Sorry, bear with me.
They still got to play Arsenal. That one's towards the
They've got London City Lionesses. They've got Arsenal, Chelsea. That looks a bit bleaker. I'm sorry, Leicester. They've got Arsenal, Chelsea. But then again, I wouldn't put it past Leicester scoring against Chelsea. I'm not going to not disregard
if
that.
Leicester go and beat Chelsea and Chelsea all of a sudden move out of the Champions League spots because of that, it'll be a good...
it'd be hilarious, don't get me wrong, but I don't think that's going to happen. I'm being realistic.
No, but it'll be a good little present to leave in the WSL the next season.
Yeah, no, but the thing is, like, if you look at fixtures, right, and you look at Chelsea, it is entirely possible that they might not make Champions League football. It is entirely possible. They've got Tottenham in the quarterfinal next, after us on the 1st of April.
Yeah.
They play on the Monday night. They've got Everton away. They've got Leicester away. And they've also got to play Man United at the end of the season. And we know how that Man United game's going to go, because Man United seem to crumble when they play City or they play Chelsea, but they turn up for Arsenal. That's just how it goes. But you never know.
The way Everton are playing at the moment.
Wrong.
No. Sorry, with the way Everton are playing at the moment, that could be one of the most silliest games. That might not be another 4-3 sort of game with the way it turned out.
I wouldn't surprise me. There's so many holes and cracks in Chelsea at the moment. Would not surprise me.
But that is all for us. We are running out of time. Thank you so much for joining us. You can follow the pod at VAW Pod, YouTube, Twitter. I believe we also have Instagram as well, and Blue Sky, although we're not that very active on it. Lottie, where can the lovely people find you?
You can find me at Lottie_AWC on Instagram. My Instagram is locked at the moment, so just bear with me. But yeah, I'm on Twitter. I'm in my nice little corner with my whole 50 followers, loving life. So yeah, if you've enjoyed the pod, hit that follow and like button, and come and give us a follow. Come and interact. It'll be fun.
Yeah. Give a little tickle to that like button as well. You can also follow me at MaxLR28 on all the lovely platforms. But for now, come on, you guys. See you.